Hello everyone and welcome to our Effortless Success in Your Portable Career and Business Summit. This is Dominika Miernik, your host, and today I have with me another special guest, Joanna Pilatowicz. She's an author. Hi Joanna, she's an author, dancer, she's a coach also and a painter, originally from Poland. She moved to Germany and she also lived in the Netherlands. And today she's with us to share her knowledge and expertise about effortless success and her own career and business. Welcome Joanna, thank you for being with us again.
Exactly, thank you for having me again. That's a pleasure meeting again.
Yeah, you're welcome. So please tell us more a little bit about you and what are you doing?
So I think you introduced me quite well. I'm doing all of that you mentioned. And additionally, what I can say, I just came from my trip to America, basically California and Arizona. Mm-hmm. I had my author meetings there, and that was about my first book in English, The Oracle, Here or There. Mm-hmm. So I was doing a series of workshops connected with co-creation using the concept of spirituality, how to bring it more on the more imagination level, so more mental feeling. And I am incorporating that also into coaching and career coaching.
Mm-hmm. Great. So talking about like changing careers or building a business, like finding your path, creativity and inspiration. So how do you find your inspiration and like how can we find our inspiration in like while changing careers or building our online businesses?
All right. So first of all, everything I say, don't believe me, check it for yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm always repeating to everybody. Sometimes I make something that maybe seems to be a little bit off or stupid, but it resonates with you. So if it does, keep it for yourself. I always say that. But sometimes we tend to say very smart things and there is a wisdom, but it completely doesn't apply to us. So just, be selective about whatever we are talking about and whatever I'm going to tell you today. And choose only those parts that resonate with you, because there's so much information out there and we tend to be lost in choosing what to do, what not to do. We have friends and family, often other people who are advising us what to do, what not to do, and we simply get lost. We don't know. So the first thing would be to find out what you really, really, really want. If you don't know that, then other people are more likely to plan your life for you. And then you are going from one failure to another because you don't know really that this is not for you. So that will be the first step, to find your own way, your own goal, and check it out for yourself if it works. So, for example, if you think like you're going to start a new business, you're going to be successful, but then after 1 month of doing research, you realize that this is not your passion, leave it. Because that's also about being flexible, about finding out first. And don't stick to something that may not work out. Just follow yourself and don't think about it as a wasting time, because you just learned what you cannot do. It's an advantage. Let's assume you know exactly what to do and you have this goal in your mind for a long time and you just don't know how to start. Then I would suggest to start with an inspiration. So that's your question, how to find it. The best way for me personally is to go into silence. Banal, but there is a certain technique that, of course, everybody can create your own technique, where you connect to your body, through your breath, through your imagination, and having a sensation in your body. And by that, I mean subtle sensing, feeling. It's not really like a feeling like you feel love, gratitude, or sadness, but it's a sensation like more like when you are exercising or you're dancing or you're doing Tai Chi. So I would suggest our listeners now to do that simple thing, like with the hands and just pushing it aside. And you can do it yourself because you're going to feel something. If you feel the tingling in your fingertips, this is kind of what I'm talking about, that has to occur in your body. So you are first connected to yourself. From that moment on, when you established feeling yourself, sensing yourself within your posture, you can ask yourself a question. How do I do what I want to do? And probably your mind will send you subtle, whether images, you're going to hear something. It's like tapping into your intuitive self. From that moment on, you also may start to feel something. You are going to have two feelings, whether something is going to be positive or negative. So you're going to react. You're going to have a reaction. Oh, I cannot do that. I would never do that. Oh, that's too difficult. So that's something, also information. Or you're going to have, oh, that's a great thing. I never thought about it. Let me do that. Mm-hmm. For the starters, I don't know if that is well, that would be well understood, or I said it properly, to go into meditation, silence, feel your body, ask a question, see what happens in your mind, what follows next, and follow your feeling on it. That would be the first step. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like getting clear, going into silence, and like following your own feelings.
Yes, but you have to first think, you have to feel yourself, because if you have any moment like you don't feel like doing this, you have obligations, distractions, limitations, you're not feeling well about different things in your life, what's happening, it's going to be more difficult. So you have to find this moment when you can sincerely do that, and then follow those simple steps. That's the basic thing, because of course from that moment on you can continue.
Yes, so like how also, because you said before that sometimes like we can get lost if we are not exactly clear about what we want to do, or if we are like getting discouraged also, we are not getting results. So we are starting like listening to what other people are saying to us, like our friends, family, or even like information that we can find online about business. So how to like follow this path, this vision that we have, like do not get lost on this.
Yes,
on this
that's a very important question, because there is a little paradox in that. From one side, you have to be very clear about what you want, about your vision, your final goal, what you really want. From another side, it's not necessary, so that's the paradox, to have the 100% clarity, because if you are tapping into yourself, you are probably going to discover one puzzle after another of your path. The only thing you gotta keep checking every day, if it's aligning with your path or not. So the one way of checking if what information you found on the internet, what other people are telling you, the one way to differentiate that is to follow your feeling. How does it feel if somebody tells me you should do this? Mm-hmm. Sense of resistance, I cannot ignore that. I mean, I can try, but if I will sabotage myself, because I will try to fulfill that task what somebody else told me, and then I will prove, oh, it didn't work, I'm sorry, but I did that, what you suggested, see, it's not working, right? Mm-hmm. I wasn't fully in it. There was a resistance that I need to address first. that feeling is the first thing you should follow when somebody is suggesting you something. That's what I would say, because it may be a great advice generally, but it's not for you if you feel bad about it, or from any reason you cannot do it. So basically, why you cannot do something, it's because you are too busy doing other things. Something else is priority for you that is more important. And you have other limitations, let's say health issues or family obligations or other things you're doing for other people that are more important in that frame of time. For you to follow that advice. And if you force yourself, then you're just landing doing too many things and dispersing your energy. The one thing, yeah.
And so what to do, for example, because sometimes it can be like a lot of resistance that we have to, like, about our goals or taking our steps. But like there is this saying that like our success is out of our comfort zone. So how can I be sure about this resistance? This is because resistance can be also like a sign that you have to actually go for it, that you have to do it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So how?
It's funny because you just mentioned something I was teaching yesterday, dancers how to turn pirouettes. And if you want to succeed, I'm going to operate on this example because I think it's very vivid and funny in a way. If the dancers are not so easy in turning pirouettes, it's like they resigning before they even start doing that because they don't believe they can do it. Especially if somebody never turned one, then why should he or she turn two? It's difficult. So that's what they have in mind. The first thing you are dealing, it's always your mind. And to differentiate, of course, if I am a coach or teacher with experience, and I can trace that, I can see, is this resistance about your limitation in your mind, or is it something real? Because, of course, if you are sick, if you have a body condition that won't allow you to exercise, I cannot force you, I shouldn't. But if I see this is only in your mind, then I can push you a little bit more and see what's going to happen and see what is really blocking you. So I think if you have a resistance, it's wise to go a little bit deeper in it. And this part, very often, you cannot do it yourself. You are very, very aware of yourself and you're working on yourself on a regular basis. I'm talking every day. In such cases, it's better to have a coach, a teacher, somebody who does that, therapist, anything, facilitator, anybody who will work with that. Basically, the person from outside has easiness to watch you and observe you. Is it your limitation coming from the mind? Like you cannot really do that because, when somebody is turning and I can see immediately that, okay, the balance was okay before, everything was fine before, but now this person goes into turn and dropping, then I know it's a mind thing. That is belief that I can even do that. Well, from that moment on, if I know it's a resistance that is blocking you and, it's your inability or not willingness to get out of your comfort zone, then I'm going to push you harder, of course. I'm going to do something in a nice way, I hope. So I'm going to do something like, okay, do the same thing, but now don't let it go and see what's going to happen. So try to push yourself to the limit that you're going to hold it just a little bit more. And you always can fall, but try to hold it a bit more because it's an attitude. Or I'm working with this resistance because behind the resistance, there is usually numbers of things like I'm going to fail anyway, right? It's impossible. I never did it, so I would never do it. So there is a pattern in your core belief that it's triggered. And if I'm going to tell you to do it, you're going to protest even more because I'm touching this sensitive spot, right? So to deal with that, you actually have to react a little bit stronger. Sense? Are you following?
Yes, I am following. Yes. So it's like, going, exploring more this resistance that you have, and then, asking also, like, it's a good idea to work with someone who can push you.
I think it's the best way to work on examples, because if we give people example how to work with this, this type of things, but that we need certain questions from people. I only talk about things I saw, things I experienced myself and other people. That's why I brought this thing about pirouette. And if I tell, okay, this is your mind, so now we know this is resistance coming from your mind, you can try to push it through. You can try to hold on a little bit more. You already know the details. You know already how to do that. You try to trick your mind, basically. That's what you're doing. So what words, what intention will work? So basically, I used an example like, if you turn pirouette, you think it's impossible. But if you have intention of taking books from your shelf and putting them on your desk, you just do it. It's in your, you don't think it's impossible. You don't go half of the way and drop the books on the floor because, right, you suddenly have, oh, it's too heavy. I may not manage to the desk, right? A clear intention, and you keep going. So why in this particular movement of turning, you're dropping because somebody told you it's impossible. And that's happening with other things. We don't achieve our goals because we heard that it's impossible. It takes, too much money. We don't have money to achieve it. We don't have means for that. We are too weak, or, anything that is holding us back needs to be traced. That's the resistance part that needs to be discovered. Because only when you know your enemy, you can work. If you don't know your enemy, you don't know. You cannot protect yourself. You cannot do about it.
Yes, and we can have, it's like having all those limiting beliefs, or even like you can go and look for many excuses because you are like scared of taking steps. You're
gonna rationalize. Of course, you're gonna rationalize why you cannot do that, and you're gonna build a list for many times. I had that, and probably you too as a coach. Why people telling you it's not possible, they're not gonna do that, and you probably cannot push them and convince them to do it anyway, that particular moment, because it's too much resistance. You have to address the resistance first in order to change, so they have a willingness to do it.
Yes, I think this is like a very important step to check exactly why are you resisting, why are you not taking taking actions on your goals. So we are clear about our vision. We have we have checked our like feelings about and like dealt with limiting beliefs and resistance. So how to like create a plan, like without like over planning, and let's say a plan in an effortless way. What is your experience on that?
Okay, another one. That's the whole subject for another whole workshop here. I think you have to watch and observe what works for you. Are you a morning person? What is your best timing to work? How you naturally work? Because if you again follow other people and say, okay, they work 8 hours per day, they start at 8, finish at 4, whatever the case is, you may not be able to follow that. So you have to find your best moments. And this is just not forcing yourself to do anything first, but just watch yourself in the past and ask yourself, there is a number of questions. What time of the day I'm mostly efficient? How long does it take for me? Because if I know that I can work 1.5 hours, focusing strongly, then I know after that time I need a break. Then you have to also think what kind of a break you need. what kind of reward you need, or just to make yourself keep going. And that's also, probably you create a list of questions, everyone for themselves, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and learn from those moments when you planned this, great thing, and then it didn't work. Then you ask yourself why it didn't work, when you got tired, when you got, again, follow your feelings, when you got discouraged, or when you thought like, okay, I'm just going to do this one more thing, and then you're sitting in front of your computer, you cannot even write another email because you just have enough. So it's, again, following your intuition and asking yourself the right questions. And this, again, you can do it yourself, but at the beginning, you probably need somebody to help you out, especially with those questions.
Great. So fantastic. So thank you very much for sharing for sharing your expertise and all the steps with us. So tell us more, where can we find information about you? And I also know that you have a fantastic free gift for our audience. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, so I can be found anywhere on social media. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel for more, to receive some videos. I'm teaching workshops, and I'm making sure that I'm addressing a little bit. So every time there is a little bit of tips. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and if you just type my name, Joanna, 2N, M in between, most of the social media, Pilatowicz, which is harder, but we're gonna leave the.
Yeah, I will put all the information.
We're gonna type it, of course. But you are going to find me. Free gifts. What I'm offering 20 minutes of the free session for anybody who's gonna watch that and would like to try it out, how to really work on regular basis with yourself. And additionally, it's something in between. You can choose. I'm also doing readings, which are not a fortune telling. I have to say that straight away. It's more like a psychological reading from tarot cards. And it's more about reading, I would say, energy, because most of the cultures, like you can have a chi, ki from different cultures, they use that term, but it's like your mental patterns, what's happening in your mind around now, and how to work with that, how to change them in order to achieve your goals, whatever that will be. So it's more psychological, I would say.
Great, fantastic. So thank you very much for sharing those beautiful gifts with us and for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for watching or listening. So tell us, what are your thoughts, your learning points from this interview? Please come over to our Facebook group and share your breakthroughs with us. And I will be back with another fantastic guest. So thank you very much, and bye. Bye, Joanna. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.